Alright, I'm going to start by priming my face with the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. I've really come to like this. Just a little bit softer version of like the Smashbox Photo Finish. I don't really know what I'm doing as far as a look other than putting on makeup. That's really the only idea I have right now. We've got a lot of stuff going on in our life right now. We're getting ready for a big trip and you know, just work. School starts in a month. For me, not for Isaac. Isaac doesn't go to school yet. He's only 1.5. So school starts for me in a month. I'll still be working full time. I have some other projects that I've been working on top of my channel and trying to do stuff on like Twitter and other sources. So it's been interesting. I'm going to keep it pretty light today. I'm going to use the Covergirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin, because that's me. So I'm just going to work this in, I think, with a flat top brush, and then I'll just buff out the edges, you know, make sure everything is looking good. I really like this foundation because it just gives me just enough coverage. It's nothing too crazy, and as I've mentioned before in my videos, I'm not super into like high full coverage. So we're traveling home. For us, home is in Washington State, so we are going to be traveling this month, and I'm really excited. As a family, we haven't been back since I think February 2016. I've gone back for a couple of trips by myself with Isaac, but as a family, we haven't gone back together. So I'm actually really excited. This is, you know, a fun trip. Everybody gets to see Isaac. The last time that this part of the family saw Isaac for any extended period of time was like January of this year. And if you have any kids or you are around younger kids very often, you know they change really quickly. It's like a blink of an eye, and all of a sudden Isaac is, you know, this little kid. He's a toddler now. He's not a baby. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be really fun for all of them to really see what he's like. Almost said NYX. God, NYX eyeshadow base, and I use, I think it's the light shade, I want to say, skin tone shade. So I think they make a black, and I think they actually make a white and a black. But I'm just gonna put this on a Expert Crease Brush by Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna work that in all over the lid. I'm going to do my eyebrows and concealer and all of that after I do the eyeshadow, only because I've worked with these once before. There isn't a ton of kickback, but I also just think it's easier that way. If there is any, mine, you know, by my own error, or if the shadow is a little bit powdery, then, you know, I'll be able to just clean that up with some concealer and powder. So I actually recently changed my major in school. I was going to school for teaching, and I don't even know where to begin. It didn't work out for me. The more I spent in the classroom, the more I really started to question my desire to teach, which is really sad because, you know, the education system really needs some good people in it at this point, and I just felt like that wasn't me. I spent 2 semesters in the classroom. I knew it wasn't my bag. So I recently changed my major. Alright, so we're going to be playing around with this. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm sure everyone has seen it. Ooh, put my finger in there. It's gorgeous. It's got some really great, obviously some great neutrals, and then some really fun pops of color over here and in here. So yeah, we'll just play around with that. We'll see what I can do. I don't really have anything planned for the weekend, so just gonna play and see what I can come up with. So yeah. Anyway, so I changed my major. And I am going to be starting a management major with emphasis on nonprofits and associations. It just worked. So I just took one of the medium shades, the third shade in the palette. I don't have my color name thing here, so unfortunately I'm not able to tell you what they are. It's one of my biggest gripes with this palette. I really wish that Morphe and Jaclyn would have thought to put the names of the shadows underneath. I know I could easily tape the card to the top of the palette, so it's just my own personal gripe. It's really not that big of a deal. So I'm going to go ahead and take another one of the more orange. I think this one, if I recall, is Creamsicle, I want to say. I'm going to take one of these shimmery burgundy shades. I'm just going to start working this toward the outside of the crease and just kind of blending it in a little bit here. So I'm going to take this purple shade on that same brush, and I'm just going to start working that in on the lid because this purple is gorgeous. This reminds me, these colors, if I go back in, I'm going to go back in with some of that orangey shade, that creamsicle shade. It reminds me of a Sugar Pill, I think. It's like Burning Heart palette, I want to say. Can't remember. I just remember it being really popular a couple, 5 or 6 years ago because the shades are so pigmented. But I think it had like a purple, it had a red, it had an orange. I want to say like a yellow. I'll insert a picture of it in here. But yeah, kind of this, so far what I'm doing here kind of reminds me of that. So I kind of want to put that gold color in my inner corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet a brush and pick up some of that gold. It's very like a bronzy gold, looks like. So we'll take a look and see how it works. Kind of like that, but I need to do some blending. So I'm going to take this brush again and just go in and try to blend out the edges of that gold into the purple. I'm going to pick up a little bit more purple and see if we can kind of meld those together so it's not so harsh looking. I'm just going to pop one of these brow colors, the very first one in the palette. I wish there was a matte brow color, but not every palette could be perfect. This one's pretty dang close. I almost want to take some of this Hunts, I think is this color, on a fluffy brush here. I'm going to just take some of this and just work it in the crease. Oh yeah, this totally gives me those like Palouse sunset vibes. If you're from Washington, you might know that. You might not, because I'm from the non-Seattle side of Washington. So, which is different. Softening out these edges where I put in that red and just kind of blending to get a little bit of a softer look. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So it's kind of bright, the lighting, so you might not pick it up as well, but we tried to put in that orange and then a little bit of the red and then a little bit of the purple and a little bit of the gold to kind of give it an interesting gradient. I do want to take a little bit of that color Obsessed and maybe pop it in the center of the lid, just to give it a little bit more interest. Okay, that kind of brought in the intrigue a little bit here, so I'm liking that. Go again in the purple on the outside of the lid. So I don't want to lose that color because that's like the color that brought me to this palette today. So I don't want to lose that, but I also don't want it to just overtake either. So I'm gonna do some eyeliner, some mascara, I'll do my brows, and we'll be back. All right, so I'm back. I got my liner on, my brows are on, and I'm just gonna put on some L'Oreal Lash Paradise, which, please, for the love of God, L'Oreal, never stop making this. Okay, because I'm already obsessed. I can already tell that this is going to be my favorite mascara, and it's the one that I am really pissed when I can't find. So please don't ever stop making it. I have a tendency to let my mouth hang open when I get really focused on something anyway. My husband actually makes fun of me all the time because I become a bit of a mouth breather when I am focused. Like, you know, I'm just it's for real. It's a problem. Okay, so that's that. The next thing I'm going to do, shit, it's just falling everywhere at this point. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Wet n Wild contour stick. I'm using the shade Oaks on You. Get it? I love wordplay. You can ask my very best friend. She constantly is like, seriously, please stop. Because I just love it so much. I love plays on words. So, this is right up my alley. Sorry, I noticed my nose. Such an idiot way to say that. My nose was really like super cakey. Like I said, this is pretty low coverage anyway, but like there was a ton just on my nose. So, okay, so I'm going to do this, and mind you, I'm pretty new at cream contour. I don't do it very often, just because I'm pretty light-handed with most things as far as coverage. So I don't really do it all that often, and I don't really want it to be super heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a damp beauty sponge. This is a Real Techniques beauty sponge. I'm gonna take that pointy side and just start working this into the skin. This side could use a little bit more love and attention. That's not bad. I don't think that's bad. I like it. I'm not gonna contour my nose. I have no need to contour my nose. I love my nose the way it is. I have my grandmother's nose. See, it gets all flared out. It's just, it is me, and I don't really have any need to change that. So, Lash. I'm going to use one of my all-time favorite blushes. I've had it forever. This is Bobbi Brown. It's in Desert Rose. It's super duper pigmented, and it's just that perfect, like, matte, like rose, but it's like almost like a taupey rose. I don't know, I love it. I bought this, I think I bought it at like the cosmetic discount kind of places. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do some under eye concealing. I do have some really, I mean, this just comes with having a very young child and trying to do a million things in your life at any given time. So I do have some pretty significant dark circles. So I'm gonna try to cover those up a little bit. This is the Covergirl Ready Set Gorgeous. So I'm going to set that with a little bit of, Coty Airspun. Jesus, this stuff, man, I love it, I really do, but it is a pain in the butt. Like, I think I need to find a new container for it. It's just a pain. I don't have like an elaborate studio set up, so like I'm just trying to balance things here, and this is just a pain in my butt. Seriously. I'll use that to do a little bit of setting elsewhere too. I'll knock off the excess powder here before we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Anastasia Glow Kit, the Sweets Glow Kit. I don't know if this was a Macy's exclusive or not, but I'm going to use the shade Sassy Grape and just highlight cheekbone. Look, it's ridiculous. I never thought I would be into like a purple highlight, but seriously, this is the one I go for the most in this palette because it's just gorgeous and it's so fun and it's so different, and I really like that. So I mean, look at that. It's like, oh, I feel like an alien with it on. Just cool. I don't mind. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Stay Matte in the shade Creator. And it's this awesome, these Stay Matte inks, oh my word, they do not budge. Like, you're gonna wear this, you're gonna wear it for as long as Maybelline wants you to. I feel like the tip on this makes it really easy to get in there and get into the real detailed areas of your lips without having to worry about going off the edge, even though I already did. So I'm gonna go in here with some concealer and try to rectify that. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I really hope you like it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me while I chit-chatted with you guys. This next month's gonna be really crazy for me, and I'm gonna hopefully get as much content up as I can, but obviously, you know, life is life, and you can't really get everything up that you want. So, I just want to say that I really, really love everything I worked with today, but I really, really love this Jaclyn Hill palette. It's just so great. The pigments are on point, the shadows are creamy, and the color selection is awesome. It gives you just enough color to play with the neutrals and feel comfortable. So if you guys are feeling adventurous, keep an eye out on the Morphe website. I know they are going to be restocking, I believe they said in September. And I think this might be the final restock, but there's also word on the street that this might become a permanent palette. So that would be really great for anybody. So just keep an eye out on the Morphe website. You can sign up with an email alert to let you know when it comes available again. So just do that. And, you know, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe. See ya.